Hi everyone.
My name is Ria Yurzuki Shihombing.
My name is Sri Wahyuni Manalu.
My name is Serly Amanda Siburian.
My name is Agnes Yestinjak.
My name is Juliani Marito Tamba.
Psycholinguistic is an integration of two scientific disciplines, psychology and linguistic. Psychology is the study of thought and behavior. Linguistic is the study of language. Therefore, in general, psycholinguistic can be interpreted as the science that studies thought and language. It focuses on the relationship between human thought and language by investigating the processes that occur in the brain in the production and perfection of language. Psycholinguistics covers three main topics: speech production, speech perception, and language acquisition. Language production refers to the process involved in creating an expression, meaning through language. Speech perception refers to the process involved in the interpreting and understanding writing and spoken language. Language acquisition refers to the process of learning a mother tongue or second language. Psycholinguistics offers many theories that explain the 3 points above. Theory is very useful in the field of language teaching. Some experts use in the basic theory when developing language teaching method. This is known as the psycholinguistic approach. The psycholinguistic approach views language and thinking as related but completely independent phenomena. Learning is seen as an individual cognitive process that occurs within the individual and is then transferred to the social dimension. Psycholinguistics, as a science that studies the psychology of language, was introduced into the language education. It helped to investigate psychological factors that may influence language learning. Psycholinguistics focus on the practical application of language and communication. The questions have to meet both using different methods to help students understanding the language easily. As an approach, there are several methods developed based on the psycholinguistic theory, which are widely used in the field of language education in various countries. This article describes several types of methods. To avoid misunderstanding, this document also explains several terms related to psycholinguistics and language learning and teaching.
Several theories from the expert about how psycholinguistic is. The first one, Mofton and Shakari. So, they explain that psycholinguistics is simply defined as a study about the relationship between language and human mind. So, they mentioned there are three important processes investigated in psycholinguistics. There are language production, language comprehension, and also language acquisition. So the next theory from the expert is from Chire in 2015. So he seems that psycholinguistics has developed partly and
Factors affecting language learning. Language learning is influenced by various factors apart from the learning effort itself. According to Lightbound and Spad 2006, mentions several factors that influence language learning, namely number 1 is intelligence. Traditional intelligence used to measure performance in tests. This intelligence is sometimes associated with success in second language learning. Number 2 is aptitude. There are individuals who naturally have the ability to grasp new language patterns and rules more quickly. However, students who study hard can also be successful. Number 3 is learning style. Learning style is used to describe a person's natural, habitual, and most effective way of absorbing, processing, and remembering new information and skills. And some people learn visually while others learn orally or kinesthetically. 4 is personality. Personal characteristics are believed to influence second language learning. Extrovert personality may find it easier to learn a language because they are used to practicing speaking. In addition, low anxiety and inhibition can help smooth learning. Number 5 is intrinsic motivation. Internal motivation such as the need to communicate and interest in the language owner culture will strengthen the desire to learn. 6 is motivation in extrinsic. Teachers also influence student behavior and motivation in language learning. A teacher can make a positive contribution to student motivation if the classroom is a fun place and relevant to the student age and abilities. Number 7 is culture and status. There is evidence that students who are in situations where the culture has lower status than the culture in which they are learning the language make slower progress. More general social factors can influence motivation, attitudes, and success in language learning. And the last is age. Children who already have good reading and writing skills tend to find it easier to master a new language quickly. However, highly motivated adults can also be successful, although it may be more difficult to achieve native like pronunciation and intonation.
Approach refers to theories about the nature of language and language learning that inform practice and principles in language teaching. An approach describes how language is used and how its parts are interrelated. In other words, it offers an approach to language teaching. Psycholinguistic approach: no child fails to learn the mother tongue, and the mother tongue is generally learned before the age of 5. Psycholinguistic approach supports the idea that language acquisition is innately determined and it is hardwired from birth because acquisition and improvement in language is a biological process. So students are considered as people who always involve the 3 domains of psychology is cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. The ability to use receptive, which means listening and reading, and productive, which means speaking and writing. So the 4 activities that I talking earlier are called as the 4 of language skills. Following will be described some benefits of psycholinguistic theories and language learning and teaching as explained by Demerizon 2004. 4 language and psycholinguistic activities. The first is listening. Psycholinguistic helps teacher overcome listening difficulties such as speed and unfamiliar words. So teachers can create listening text with familiar topics and limited new words, and pay attention to reading speed and environmental noise. The second is reading. The psycholinguistic approach uses bottom-up and top-down comprehension. This means students understand the text by looking at the meaning word by word or using the knowledge they already have. Teachers should provide reading materials that are real and relevant to the real world. The third is writing. Psycholinguistic helps understand students' writing errors, including spelling. So this approach also helps to find interesting writing topics and reduce writing difficulties, as well as suggest solution to punctuation errors. And the last, but not least, it is speaking. Psycholinguistic provides control over the teaching of speaking. So student personalities such as introvert or extrovert affect their language skills. Speech disorders can be caused by psychological factors or trauma.
Language teaching methods or psycholinguistic approach. Language teaching approach are built upon theories about language and language learning. This approach are benefits in language teaching methods, which can be comprehended effectively when the underlying theories are well understood. The development of language teaching methods relies on two main theoretical frameworks, the theory of language and the theory of language learning. Within this framework, structural, functional, and instructional theories offer distinct perspectives on language. Additionally, language teaching methods are influenced by theory of language learning, which address cognitive process and necessary conditions for effective language learning activities. Psycholinguistics in particular provides insight into this question and is widely utilized as a fundamental theory in developing language teaching methods. Several methods have been devised based on the principle of psycholinguistics as detailed by Harris and Andika 209. The first, natural method. This method is developed by Jackie de Terrell. This method believes that language learning is a direct prediction of the way humans naturally acquire their native language. Psycholinguistic principles in language learning according to this method are as following. A. Language mastery relies on learning language skill in natural context and less on context learning of grammatical rules. B. Learning a language is an effort to develop cognitive competence, the ability to understand the speech of native speakers, and native speakers understand the learner's speech without any error, which can interfere with meaning. C. Comprehension is primary than production. And D. The model that underlines the method is 5 monitors theory. The first, acquisition learning hypothesis, 2 natural order hypothesis, 3 monitor hypothesis, 4 feedback hypothesis, and 5 effective filter hypothesis. Number 2, total physical response method. This method is developed by psychologists from St. John's State College, United States, James J. Esser, 1966. Psycholinguistic principles in language learning according to this method are as following. A. Language competence will improve significantly by involving kinesthetic sensory system in language learning. B. Comprehension is primary rather than speech production. Students are likely to achieve comprehension competence before they try to speak or write. Related to kinetics theory, it is believed that there is a positive correlation between a physical movement and students' language adjustments. It becomes the focus design applying a broad language teaching technique in a certain topic. C. Psychostopedia. This method is developed by Georgi Lajanov, a psychiatrist in Bulgaria in 1975. Psychoanalytic principles in language learning according to this method are as following. 1. Humans can be directed to do something by giving them a relaxed atmosphere and open and peaceful mind. 2. Before the lesson starts, students are persuaded to relax their body and mind in order to gather hypnotic ability. It is an incredible super memory. 3. The classroom is set up with theme-like, comfortable seats, relaxed atmosphere, and musical music. 4. Laboratorium program and strict grammar exercise are rejected in the class. And 5. Generic material is presented in a long dialogue. The characteristics of the dialogue are A. Emphasize vocabulary and content. B. Relate to real life. C. Practical utility. D. Relevant emotionally. And A. Some words are underlined and given to phonetic transcription. As meeting is the method is divided into the time allocation. The first is reviewing the proposed topic through discussion, games, skits, and role-playing.